and Tonya are my morning coffee.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of My Morning Coffee, bright and early on this Monday morning at 10 a.m. So glad to see you all. One of the things I want you to do is we want to know where you're from. So the cool thing is that we've had a lot of guests, a lot of our audience that taps in and lets us know where they're from. So in the comments, make sure you shout us out where you're from, because we want to know, and we want to give you a nice good morning shout out too. We want to thank you all for showing up this morning. We're still in Women's History Month, so we will definitely be getting into some of that. And today, our amazing guest on this hot, flavorful, organic conversation is Miss Nicole Vick. Now, we have had her here before, and we did have a good old time. But she has added some things to her title since the last time we had her. We talked about it actually on our last show, so feel free to go back and check that out. But Miss Nicole Vick is here to share with us some insight on her new book. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. COVID and public health, hugely important. Are Black folks actually getting the shot or not? What's going on? She'll be able to share some insight about that. And you know, we got a few hot topics. We might have a little tea time, and get into some things that are going on. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about what's in our cups, what you have been up to, and how's it going. Let's start with you, Miss Gia. What's going on? What's in your cup? How's it been going?
Good morning. I have coffee in my cup because it's Monday. It's Monday morning. Daylight savings time is on us, and it's kind of thrown me for a loop. So I need a little pick me up. And also, I haven't been having coffee for a few days because we've been out of creamer in my household, and I'm a coffee with creamer type of girl. So therefore, I haven't had any coffee. So today I'm excited because we got some creamer yesterday. And so I'm probably gonna have like 2 cups, and normally I'm a 1 cup person, but just because I haven't had any, I'm gonna go back and catch up. So I got a little coffee in here. What have I been up to, Tonya? Let me see, girl. I don't know. I've been up to so much, and then so much I haven't been up to. It seems like it's been a minute since we've been on here talking about stuff, but I've just been hanging. I'm still off work, recovering from my wrist surgery. So I thought I had therapy today, but I got a call right before the show saying, I had my last therapy appointment. So I'm waiting to get some renewal therapy. So see if they'll give me some more days. But if not, I have, I'm doing my little exercises at home. My wrist is not 100% yet. So I don't feel safe going back without having my wrist at 100%. So I'm just trying to get that going. I've been in my creative studio a little bit, doing a few little things. I've been posting a few things. I've been working on my whole empowerment line of apparel. So I posted a few sweatshirts, a few things. So you know me, I'm all about empowering us women. And I'm about empowering everybody, but specifically women, so I've been working on that. I got some things still, I'm cooking up that hopefully I'll put out pretty soon. What else I've been up to? Let's see. Jesus, I've been up to a lot, but I guess it'll come to me. What else I've been up to? Oh, I'm working with a few people. I'm doing some collaboration. So actually there was some merchandise.
Did you guys have the melanin market again?
Say it again.
You guys had the melanin market again?
Yes, the Melanin Market actually is not called the Melanin Market anymore. It's called Nothing But Black Flea Market. That started back up last month. So I did it in February, and we did it this past weekend at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. So that's good. That's been going on. So I'm scheduled to do that again this month and in April. So you guys come on out. There's over about 50 vendors there, all Black owned entrepreneurs out there trying to, do their thing. So that's been going good. we've got a lot of good feedback. I've launched a new collection, my denim patch collection. So I've been getting a lot of good feedback at the market about the collection. So I'm excited about that. So I've just been doing a little designing and a little collaborating and things like that. So I'm doing
Miss
a little
Gia,
merch.
I'm gonna have to tell you the same thing that I tell everyone else. Make sure that you put all this good information on our page so your people know, and our Instagram page. And for those of you that don't know, we now have an Instagram page, and you can go run on over there and follow us and join in all of our cool conversations. Marcus, Dr. Goody Goodlow was on the show, and I posted a clip of that. Y'all don't want to miss that. Go check it out and make sure you subscribe. But Gia, you got to put the stuff on the page so the people can find you and support
Nicole,
you.
Nicole, you peeped that out. You see how she tried to put me out there like that? You see how she tried to do the slide? She's professional about it, but she tried, I know I've been slacking, but you see how she do me? That's what I'm saying. She cuts up on the down low. People don't know that. They be like, oh, Tonya be, she be shooting from the low. She gonna be on the hip, and stuff.
Listen,
okay, Tonya.
I just want to make sure everyone can go support you. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
Want to make sure.
I know. I'm gonna get it on there. I'm just a little. Sometimes it take me a little minute because being in this COVID, I'm like overload. This whole internet, everything online, I'm kind of like an overload. So every time my phone pings, I hear noise. I'm like, oh my God, what is it now? It's like I can't catch up. It's just like, whoa, slow down, internet, slow down a little bit. So I'm doing better though. But that's really what I've been up to. I've been checking both of you guys out. Y'all doing some awesome things. I can't wait to hear all the stuff you guys have been doing. I'm so excited for the both of you guys. I'm so excited, Nicole, your book, and Tonya, all the stuff that you got going on. And I've been holding on to something for so long. I knew about it before. I think nobody else knew about it. I was trying to keep it on ice, as the kids say. It was on ice and everything. And then you finally announced this. I was so excited about that. So I'm just glad to be in you guys' company. Like, I know people in high places and stuff. So hey, I'm all for it. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have been up to.
Well, let's get into that, Miss Nicole Vick. What's in your cup and what have you been up to? Let the people know.
Well, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker. So this is lemon ginger tea. And I figured it'd be a great addition to this rainy Monday morning. As far as what I've been working on, you guys know I do work in public health. I work for a public health organization. I also teach, and I happen to teach public health. So everything that I have been working on for the last year has been COVID-19 all day, every day, but really excited about it because I feel like we're making a difference. We're doing things, we're making an impact. And on the teaching side, just being able to teach public health has been amazing, and to relate everything back to COVID because the students are suffering. They're going through a lot of changes, transitions. So being able to help them understand what's happening, but also tie it to the course has been exciting. I think they think I'm a little bit crazy because I'm in class like this, like, oh my God, this is great. Do you understand what's happening? They're looking at me like, calm down. But I'm so passionate about my work and my teaching that, there's always something new to discuss and to share and to help the students understand. Still been pushing the book. Bam. Working on that. And I'll actually be with Gia. Hopefully you'll be there on the same day at the Nothing But Black flea market. I think I'll be there on the 27th of March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be there.
I said, let me take myself outside and actually talk to people and do things, because I've been in the house working from home. And it's been, interesting. I know I rarely go outside. So really, really interesting shift this last year or so. But that's it for me.
I love it. So listen, I have coffee in my cup, my morning coffee cup. Okay. I need it because, and this is where I need your help, Nicole. I was hallucinating last night and had Ray up at 10:00 in the morning, looking for people I thought were talking in the house. I don't listen. don't be judgy. I'm just going to tell you that a girlfriend of mine, her name is Holly, she had COVID and she keeps on asking me, do I have strange dreams? So I don't know if I've had COVID or if I'm just having strange dreams because I'm incredibly tired. But I promise I heard people talking in the house at 2 a.m. this morning. And I need to apologize for my husband because there was no one. So Miss Nicole, I'm going to need your help. You know, you guys, we were off for about 2 weeks and I was getting over my pneumonia. I was diagnosed with pneumonia. They said my COVID test was negative. I've been bitching and complaining about this for a while because every week I hear something different, right? So I had been really sick. I tried to fight it. Finally, I just went to the hospital and they diagnosed me with pneumonia. Said it was COVID negative. But everybody that has had pneumonia says, girl, I think you had COVID. Then I'm reading and I see now there's something called COVID pneumonia. And every week there's something new, COVID this, COVID that. And they say you can get false negatives when you take your COVID test. Ma'am, I'm just trying to figure out, did I have COVID? Was I hallucinating last night or just tired from being at the baseball field all day? What is COVID pneumonia? And how long does it take to recover after I've had my medication? Because and then the foggy brain thing. I'm sure you guys have probably talked about that. Thought I had dementia for a minute. Not quite sure what that was all about, but I digress. I need help. I'm just trying to figure out, am I going to be okay or not? You know, if I have to turn all this over to Gia and just walk away, I just want to know what's going on.
I mean, you went, but you know, you just like me. It's like either I have a cold or I'm out the door. It's like, oh no, there's no middle ground. It's like, is my finger hurting or is it amputation? Like,
right. I'm like, am I gonna live or die? Just let me know.
Right.
Girl, you go so look. You ain't dying.
No, right. First of all,
but it felt like it. Like, good Lord, when you feel like you have absolutely no control over your bodily functions, your body, your mind, sweating at night sweats, like, it was crazy. And now I'm sleeping like a 9-month pregnant woman. So I don't know what's going on. Nicole, tell me something, ma'am.
Honey, those night sweats they're gonna come back again.
We're not even talking about that yet. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother public health issue.
Right.
So let me just say this. First and foremost, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor or a nurse, so I can't diagnose. I can't, tell you what exactly happened. But I will say that COVID, this whole year has really been throwing all of us for a loop. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of worry, anxiety, and with your pneumonia and the stress and the anxiety, sometimes that plays out in your dreams, or you think you hear some things. I know I probably think all the work that I've been doing and trying to get my rest. It's been a lot. My dreams are really vivid as well. So, did you have COVID or not? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Maybe you had already recovered enough when you took the test that the test came back negative. You may have been exposed. It's really hard to say. I'm just glad you're feeling better. It does take a while, especially with something like pneumonia. People tend to underestimate the severity of pneumonia. Pneumonia can really cause a lot of issues if it's not dealt with and treated aggressively. So I'm really glad you did make the choice to go in and get taken care of.
Nicole, say those 2 words again. If it's not dealt with, and what else you say immediately? Because
we're throwing shade this morning. We're being shady this morning.
That's McKenzie's. That's one of her little quirks. She don't listen. She don't want to listen, and she try to think she gonna wait. We all think we medical doctors and stuff when we get sick, and as we get older, we can't rely on our own self-diagnosis and stuff. When we feeling bad, we need to get to the doctor. I do the same thing. And I let it fester and fester. And that happened to me a couple of years ago. I was sick. I thought I had a common cold and everything. Don't worry about it. I waited too long. And then when I finally went to the doctor, again, it was, whole pneumonia thing. But then I got diagnosed with asthma because I let it fester so long. I had this cough in my lung because I was like, oh, I'm fine. So she don't listen. But I hope now she's going to take her behind to the doctor when she ain't feeling well and stop being superwoman. Had me all worried and nervous.
So back to Miss Nicole Vick. I just want her to help me understand and help our audience understand in crises like this, or just about anything. What does a public health advocate or someone in your profession do? Like what do you do?
So, in general terms, a public health professional works on prevention of disease and promotion of health in communities. So, you know how a medical doctor, when you were sick, you went to the doctor and the doctor diagnosed you, gave you treatment, gave you whatever they need to give you so that you got better. We are on the other side. We're on the prevention side. We don't want you to get sick in the first place. So we're doing things like vaccinations. We are doing things like telling people to wash your hands, wear a mask. If we're talking about sexual health, we're telling people put a condom on. So we're really focused on prevention because prevention is ultimately cheaper than treatment or anything else, right? So if we can keep you from getting sick in the first place, we can save a lot of money, save people's quality of life, keep things running as they should. So oftentimes we can't always stop things from happening. And so if it's already happened, we can try to somehow provide services so that whatever happens is not as severe. So if, for example, going back to sexual health, if you've already gotten syphilis or chlamydia, it's too late. We can make sure you get your medication and your partner gets medication. So that's what public health is about, like prevention. We don't want you sick. We don't want you to get the flu. We don't want you to get COVID. We don't want you to fall. We don't want you to get HIV. We want you to be healthy, and we're going to create programs, strategies to make sure that happens. So that's what public health is about.
So when we get those public service announcements, are they coming from public health?
Most of the time, yes. We also, depending on what kind of public health organization you work with or work for, often there's this sort of thing where folks are working together across departments. So maybe it's health services, which actually provides health care that works with public health or works with the city or the county in some way. So ultimately that put your mask on type stuff, wash your hands, 6 feet away, all those types of things are public health and messages. Yes.
Well, we won't stick on COVID too long. I wanted to find out, what are we doing right now about testing and those that don't want to get tested, and for whatever reason, if you feel like talking about that, and how we can encourage that or discourage it. I would like your personal opinion and then your professional, because I'm not sure if they're the same.
So just like everyone else, I've been watching the news, keeping up on the current events, and what my impression is that we're moving from testing to more vaccination, getting people actually vaccinated. But there are still testing sites open. I think there's one like near the Forum in Inglewood, for example, not too far from where I live.
It's
but
busy.
Say it again.
So busy. It's so busy.
Oh,
still, the testing sites are so busy.
Yeah, they're still offering testing, but we're definitely shifting toward vaccination. And I know you've probably seen all the stuff on the news and in the papers about which tier is eligible, teachers or this person or that person. So they're really trying to roll this out, and not just here, of course, across the country. All the jurisdictions are really trying to roll out vaccination so people can get their vaccine. So I think the focus is more on that, but there are still testing sites available. If people really want to get tested and are concerned or worried about if they have COVID or not.
Now, vaccinations, where are you at with that personally and professionally?
I was vaccinated. I will say that. I was vaccinated. I've got my second dose probably about a month ago. I'm still here. Arm is still on, attached to my body. I'm fine. And I do encourage everyone to get vaccinated when they can get vaccinated. I was talking to my daughter. One of her young friends was over. My daughter's like 23, 24 now. And she was telling me, I think she's a teacher. She's like, yeah, I got my Moderna first dose. And we were talking about the vaccine. And I said, the best vaccine is the first vaccine that you can get. If it's Johnson & Johnson, if it's Pfizer, if it's Moderna, that's what everybody's been saying on the media. And I agree. I have physician friends that have been vaccinated, and they say if you can get it and you're eligible, you should go get vaccinated.
Ms. Gia, what are your thoughts on vaccinations? I know you got it, but were you reluctant before that?
No, I wasn't. Only because I I try to trust the science and the doctors and stuff. And I know there's a lot of propaganda out there. They give and they're sending a lot of mixed messages and stuff like that. But I've been vaccinated even as a kid. You know, when we didn't have no choice, we was vaccinated, and we still here. But also, again, when I got sick before, I never got the flu vaccination years ago. Never got it. And then and I didn't get it because I would hear all the stories. Oh, you're gonna get sick, you know, that kind of thing. They're gonna put it in you. You still get the flu. So I was like, well, what's the use of getting it? You know, if I'm still gonna get the flu, that kind of thing. I didn't really understand it. And one day I was at work, you know, I work with the public, and my boss had actually said, you know, hey, Gia, you should probably go. They were giving out the flu vaccination. You should go get the vaccine. So I went and got it because, you know, my boss, he said, I should get it. And I got it. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm never going to get sick. I got this vaccination. I'm never going to get sick, right? That's what I was thinking. But I got sick. But then I learned, well, yeah, I got sick, but I could have been a lot worse if I hadn't got the vaccine. So ever since then, I started getting the flu vaccine. And then when I got the whole asthma thing, my doctor recommends every year that I get the pneumonia vaccine. Because with asthma, it affects your lungs, and when you get sick, that's what kills people. It's not actually, you know, the actual flu. It's things that you have going on with you that the flu and these viruses attack that, you know, you can't control. So if you don't have the vaccine helps you fight those things off. I think the people, when they hear a vaccine, they think it's a cure, and that's not what a vaccine is. So to speak. And I'm not a medical doctor again, you know, stuff. I think it's just something that helps us fight off. So if we get these things in our body and stuff, as opposed to if we didn't have the vaccine, it would be harder to fight it off, and we could get a lot sicker. And then, you know, some people, you know, we know have died from it and stuff. So yes, I got it. I got my last shot actually last Thursday. And I got those. Some people don't get any symptoms. I got some of the symptoms. I felt like I had the flu. So like the next day, I was cold. You know, everything was cold and everything. I was like, oh, what's going on? And I felt tired and stuff, but I didn't panic. I was just like, and I was very sluggish and stuff. So I just went and got back in the bed and I slept it off. So the next morning on Saturday, I felt fine. I didn't feel the same way I felt on Friday, but Friday, yeah, I had the chills. I had all that, you know, that people say that they had, but it wasn't like, oh God, I'm gonna die. I wasn't like, you know, to my, where's the wheel at and anything like that, Tonya. I was just like, oh, you know, I feel like I had a really bad, you know, bad cold and stuff like that. So, and like some people have said, oh yeah, I told them I was getting it, you know, and like my sister was like, oh yeah, well, when you get that third eye on you and stuff like that, and you know, and so she's being funny and stuff. And I'm like, you know, come on, people. And you know, I was telling her, I said, you know, the more of us that get vaccinated, the more they're gonna open up to, you know, things for us and stuff. And that's what everybody's what the government's waiting on, to see where we are waiting stuff so they can determine how much they can open up. So all the people who are mad about being in the house and can't go out, can't go to concerts, can't go to eat, gotta eat out in the cold with the heat lamps and stuff like that. Well, it's because a lot of us still don't want to get vaccinated. So if we ain't getting vaccinated, guess what? They're gonna keep some restrictions on us. So, you know, I did it, you know, and you like Nicole said, we fine. I'm fine. My mother got it. You know, Jeff got it. And people who work, to me, if you're working in the public, you're working around the people, I say you should get it, because you don't know what the people who you're coming in contact with, what they have or don't have, and what they're doing or not doing. And that's my thing. You know, it's like, I work in the public. You know, I work around a lot of people from all walks of life. So, of course, and even the people that I work with from all walks of life. So,
ladies, help me settle this argument with my husband. I keep telling him, Gia said she got a pneumonia vaccination. He swears ain't no such thing as a pneumonia vaccination.
Yes, there is. Pneumococcal.
Why haven't we ever been offered this before? And this is my third bout with pneumonia. So talk to me about how people can, I guess, ask for things that aren't offered. It's almost like a Starbucks menu that, you know, there's special stuff on the menu or special stuff that they make, but it's not on the menu. Like, how am I suffering from pneumonia for a third time and no one's ever told me that there was a pneumonia vaccination for me to even take? And he just won't let it go and swears there's no such thing. Help me out.
Well, I really think it's your doctor, because before my doctor that I had, mentioned to me. I didn't know anything about pneumonia vaccine either, but I think I want to give kudos to my doctor. And she's since retired and stuff. And she had been treating me for over 20 years. So she once I got the last sickness and stuff, she recommended it. Now my new doctor, she's a younger doctor. She hasn't mentioned the pneumonia vaccine at all. When I've gone to see her and stuff. So I really think it's really the different doctors who might be pushing it or might be talking about it, but it's out there. But again, medicine is not like it used to be. You have to really advocate for yourself, stuff, so you might have to go to your doctor and ask, hey, is there a pneumonia vaccine? Can I get it? Should I get it? And let them tell you, let them use their 8 or 9 years of schooling, okay, and talk to you about it, stuff. So.
Yeah,
Nicole,
and it also is an issue of, and per exactly what Gia said, her physician knew that she had asthma. There were some other things in her medical history that may have made it make more sense for that doctor to prescribe or suggest that vaccination. Whereas maybe, all of our medical histories are different, are personal, very specific. So it would be good for you to bring it up and ask. It may be an issue of age. Some stuff is not recommended until a certain age. Versus, again, a specific medical history. So it's nothing wrong with bringing it up, but it's pneumococcal vaccine. It does exist, and I would ask, and the doctor can say, well, you know what? Actually, this would be a good idea for you. Or they could say, well, based on the guidelines, we actually only recommend pneumococcal for people over this age, and maybe you're not in that age category yet. Same thing with me with mammograms, for example. Oh yeah, have you had a mammogram? And then he'll look at my chart. Oh, you're not old enough yet. But if I say, hey, actually my mom or my aunt had breast cancer, then that makes it different. Oh, well, then, you know what, maybe we should go do a mammogram. So sometimes it just, depends. Medicine is not an exact science. There's some nuances in there, and it just depends on your medical provider, your medical history, against what the standard recommendations are for a specific vaccine or treatment or procedure.
Well, Miss Nicole Vick, I would love to hear more about this book that I keep seeing, this bright yellow, lovely book, and know what's in it since our last visit together. I'm waiting for you to get my autographed copy, and look, ma'am. So let the listeners know about your book, why you wrote it, and who it's for.
Okay. You know what, Tonya? You can get your autographed copy on the 27th of March when you bring your behind out to the Nothing But Black flea market, because Nicole will be there talking about her book, signing her book. So that's when you can get your autographed
we're
copy.
having an event.
Yes. I put that plug in there for you, Nicole. You see, I did that for you. That's what we do. So we plug each other.
I appreciate that. See, teamwork.
Make a great work.
Yes. So my book is called Pushing Through, Finding the Light in Every Lesson. And pushing through, the title really is about the ability for Black women, and I keep talking about this, I've done several talks about this secret sauce that we have, this Black girl magic, this ability to persevere despite all odds. We move forward, we're innovators, we're creators, we are leaders, we are nurturers, all these things. And my book is really about my life story and public health at the same time. So I'm telling my life story and intermingling and interweaving these important public health concepts like my journey as a teen mom, and literally a statistic walking onto a college campus trying to navigate life in an institution that wasn't designed for me, a predominantly white institution. There's really a lot of Black people around. I'm pregnant. I'm already sticking out. And literally, right? And I'm trying to get my life together. Relationship issues, the things that us sometimes type A smart women are very smart and got everything else going on, but for some reason we pick these wrong dudes, and why? And how I was able to push through that. Raising my daughter. There's all these topics, the educational system I was a part of, and how that played a role in my success in life. So there's a lot of good gems in this book. There's a lot of good information towards the end of the book, about what women can do to create community where they stand. I am a firm believer that you don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait to get $1 million to make change in your community. You can do it with what you have right in here and in here. And so I gave some tidbits on that as well in the book. So it's a lot, but I think once you read it, it's like, oh, this is it. This is really
What
a good
made
guide.
you, from one author to another, I know how difficult it can be or how much work it takes to write a book. What made you decide to put in that work and get it done? Because people get stuck in the middle, that, it's like, okay, now the editing, now the this, how am I going to publish? Now I got to market it. It's a lot. So talk to me about that journey and what got you to the end.
So it was something about turning 40. I think when I turned 40, it all kind of started to come together, where I had taken this writing class and it was really fun. And when I would read out what I wrote, people were like, you are so funny. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can actually write, And so there was a book coach that I met up with. Her name is Kim O'Hara. And she was like, I think you have something here. And one of the things I really am grateful for her, she makes you kind of fill out a questionnaire. You can't just say, hey, I want to write a book. And she says, okay, you got to write out, like, why do you think your story is compelling? Like, why should I care about what happened to you, right? And to make you articulate that is really important. And I remember writing very clearly, I am most proud of my ability to push through. And that's actually where the title of the book came from. But working with her, she held me accountable. Every 2 weeks, I need a chapter. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm working, I'm doing all this other stuff. But I was able to do it. I had her to help push me along. But I ultimately, being 40, stopping at age 40 and looking back and saying, how did I get here? Public health professional, city commissioner, mama, blogger, pop-up shop runner. How did I get to this space? Was really the catalyst for the book.
I love that. Have you had a chance to read it yet, Miss Gia?
No, I haven't. It's funny because when Nicole first was talking about her book before it was even finished, I swore I was like, and she had to pre-sign up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for the pre-sign up and for the book. And I'm looking around, I'm thinking, wait, I don't have Nicole's book. And I could have swore I thought I signed up for the pre-sign of the book, the pre-sale or whatever and stuff. But don't worry, I'm gonna see Nicole on the 27th again at the Nothing But Black flea market, and I'm gonna get my book. I'm gonna go have my autograph, and I'm gonna have her probably say some other stuff in there to encourage me and stuff. That's what she does. She always encourages me and stuff, motivates me and stuff. But also the book also makes a perfect gift for those people who say they don't like to read books or whatever. You can always get the book and give it as a gift. It's probably a good book for young teenage women and stuff, because Nicole has really pushed through. She's pushed through a lot, stuff to get to where she is and stuff. And I think everybody could get something out of her book. I just love everything about Nicole. When I first met her, her energy is just so it's infectious and stuff. So without even reading the book, I know the book is good. That's just how it is and stuff, and stuff. So but for y'all out there that's watching and listening or whatever, go get the book, pushing through it, get the book, support Nicole. And it's a wonderful book. She's a wonderful woman and stuff. So yeah, I'll have the book on the 27th. I don't know about you, Tonya, because you might be busy on the 27th. But let me know if you're busy, I'll get the book for you and get your order.
So for the people that can't make it out to the flea market on the 27th, Miss Nicole, where can they get the book?
So my book is available on a number of platforms. It is on Amazon, and actually there's this version and the Kindle version. And a friend of mine told me, I had no idea about this early on. She said, I love having, what's her name? Siri, whatever that girl, Alexa, whatever her name is. I love having her read my book. If you have Kindle, she will read the book to you. So I thought that was really cool. So if you are sight impaired or you just don't feel like read, you can just listen to Siri read my story. I also am on a number of book websites. So Barnes & Noble. I am on, I'm at Walmart. I Googled myself, the title of the book, and I'm like, my book is in Walmart. So Walmart, Barnes and Noble. There's a website called Books a Million. And I often drive people to this Black-owned bookstore here in Leimert Park, Isawan Books. It's not in the store, but it's on their website. So if you go to isawanbookstore.com, it's on their website. So that way you support a Black bookstore and you support a Black author at the same time.
So Miss Abby,
how can we get the book in their store?
I asked them.
They're different. Let's not.
Yeah, it's a little harder.
We got to talk about that offline.
I did go in there, but I did go in there and ask. I did.
We'll talk about that offline. But Miss Abby wants to know if you have a mentor. And for me, I do. I have a few because I do so many different things that I have to have a mentor in particular spaces to make sure that I'm on track and I'm not screwing stuff up because I do that often. Miss Nicole, what about you?
So I don't know if I have a mentor per se. I do have a group of friends. We actually have a name. We call ourselves the Fabulous Sister Friends of South LA. And it's 6 of us total, all Black. No, they're not all Black, my bad. From all different cultures, but they're all from different levels of success. Some of them are like executives, some run nonprofits, some work in healthcare. And that I guess you could say that's my collective mentorship circle there. If I need help with something, I know, let me ask Nomsa. Nomsa is one of my closest friends. If I don't feel good, I'm calling Jamila, the nurse. I'm like, Jamila, my stomach hurt. What you think? And she would tell me what that is. So I have a nurse on my mentorship circle. But I do also have professional mentors that have guided me through my public health career that I really respect and love. And some of them I speak to this day, physicians. One is a nurse that really pushed me forward in my career that I really respect and have a lot of admiration for. So there are a lot of people. I'm just so blessed to have so many people in my life that have been able to help me move through my life and achieve good things and great things.
What about you, Miss Gia? In your professional career, have you had a mentor?
Yes, in my professional career, yes, I have had a mentor, a few mentors. They've since retired and gone on to the happy life of retirement and stuff. But yes, you know what, Nicole? I lied. I got the book, and guess what? Look, Jeff had to come down and show me that. I knew I had the book. See, I know I be supporting my people. And I just got a lot of stuff, Nicole. That's why I could remember. But I just kept looking at my bookshelf. I said, "There's something yellow. Is that Nicole's book?" So, people, I got the book. I got the book already. But mine's not autographed. But I'm bringing it on Saturday the 27th, so you can autograph it. So yes. So okay, I'm sorry. I got excited because I got the book. See, I don't want to be said I be supporting people and don't be supporting because I do. So I got the book. Okay. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for saving me because I know Nicole was going to be like, wait a minute, Gia, and stuff. But hey, okay.
Listen, I need to jump into.
Look, I'm in church now. Hallelujah. Okay, yeah. Back to me having a mentor. Yes, I've had a mentor in my professional.
Can't take her nowhere.
Yeah, you can in my professional life. And actually, my mentor is funny because my personality. I just do things. I don't, like they say, people see more in you than you see in yourself. Well, I'm one of those people, and I really thank God for my mentor because if it wasn't for my mentor pushing me, I probably wouldn't be where I am in my career. Because he was the type of person, he would send me jobs, tell me to go apply for jobs that I would never think about applying for on my department and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And he was like, G apply, stuff. And lo and behold, I gotten to work a lot of great places based on his mentorship and stuff. So I do appreciate that. So mentors are good. And I've learned a lot because of course my mentor was always, when you have a mentor on your same level, it's good, but also having a mentor on another different level, you learn more because you get to learn what they do. And that's what I was when I would learn not my job, but also whatever rank that they were at the time. So it made me a more well-rounded employee. At least I thought it did. So mentorship is really good. So everybody, if you have a chance to get a mentor, have a mentor. And if you can be a mentor, then you should also mentor because it's mentorship to me is growth on both parts. The mentee grows, but you as a mentor, you also grow too. So That's my take on it.
Miss G, I'm gonna jump into a little tea time since we haven't been here in a couple of weeks, because there's some real serious tomfoolery that's been going on lately. And I try to be patient, and I try to be someone that simplifies complex issues through conversation. But let me tell you, it's some ignorant that's been going on up in here lately. So listen, I don't know if you guys, I try to keep politics out of this too, but we got a Senator, Ron Johnson, who made a comment recently. I don't know if you've been watching the news. He was in the Capitol the day that the mess jumped off. And this fool got on the news yesterday talking about he wasn't worried, but had those been Black Lives Matter protesters, he would have been worried. That's the first thing. So I want you to sit on that for a minute. Then, as a commissioner with LA County, we have a project called LA versus Hate. And it's segmented out. You know, you can do Redondo versus Hate, Ladera Heights versus Hate, but it's really to promote that we now have in Los Angeles County a 211 number that you can call if you feel like you have been a victim of hate. So I was in a Facebook group the other day, and this guy who actually runs the group, so he probably kicked me out after this, he said, you know, I don't understand a hate crime. To me, a hate crime feels like people are trying to control your thoughts. So why can't you just be charged for a crime? Why does there have to be an enhancement because it's a hate crime? I was like, you don't understand that? That's a leftist thing. So it's a leftist thing that there are hate crimes. And since you are a law enforcement officer, I do want you to lean in on Miss Gia. And then my soror, Cheryl Underwood, happened to be on her show talking to her homegirl, well, they supposed to be friends, about Pierce Morgan, this racist ass, and we all know, because he has a history of saying some things. So they were having a conversation, friend to friend. Her friend gets offended, and now the show is canceled for a couple of days or whatever. And people are kind of coming at Cheryl like she was calling her homegirl a racist. She was asking her a question. People get so offended when you call them racist, but a hit dog will bark. So we need to start having this conversation when people start getting all antsy about being called racist or getting weird when race comes into the conversation. If it makes you that damn uncomfortable, you need to check on your triggers. You need to figure out why you are so triggered every time somebody brings up race. That's in our entertainment, it's in our local government, and it's in our federal government. And this has gone too far without people saying, if you all up in arms about the word racism or somebody calling you racist, you need to check your shit.
Okay, well, Tonya, girl, you need a whole nother hour for some of this stuff. But I'll start with the Cheryl Underwood thing. And the key thing to me here is that people do not listen. Okay,
First of all,
because they don't listen. They don't actively listen good, because Cheryl did not call her a racist.
She did
Cheryl
not.
asked her a question about
her
what
homeboy.
she thought, about her homeboy, what people might think of her, might think of her. She never called her racist, but again, Sharon only heard the word racist and she didn't hear the whole question. And other people, two viewers, heard that. And like you said, they're trying to go in on Cheryl, saying Cheryl called her racist, and Cheryl didn't. Cheryl asked her a question. Okay.
That's like
and
I
you
asked
had the
you
word
a question about your rapist homeboy. I ain't calling you no rapist.
Right,
I just want
exactly.
to know your thoughts on your homeboy.
But again,
Right.
people they don't listen carefully. So and they're so busy to really be defensive about something. That's what happened, like you said. So now now the show has been on hiatus for a few days and stuff like that, while they investigate or look into this in further stuff like that, which I don't understand that part and stuff. And I just hope exactly stuff. And like you said, I think sometimes having a conversation, whether you friends or not, because we all don't know how our friends feel about certain things, and we assume they might feel the same way we feel because we rolling with them, but they might be all the way opposite, stuff like that. And so sometimes when you ask questions like you talk about certain subjects in the public like that, and people are going to hear what they want to hear, and they're going to twist your words up and say that you said this or you said that or you feel that way, and it's going to go crazy. Pierce is, we all know that this man is crazy. I don't follow him as much as a lot of other people. I learned last night about the whole, why he really salty about Megan. I didn't know that part, but I heard about the whole, they went to the dinner thing and the whole car, the Uber car, and she took the car to go to, and that's how she met Harry, and now he's still salty about that. So then the question really is he just a man scorned because nobody wanted his old behind? She wasn't feeling him, and she got the little stud Harry with his little red hair and stuff. She got a little young dude, and now he met.
We all can relate.
Right. Exactly. So, but this goes to show you how, we do need to have more conversations about race. That's always the white elephant in the room. Sometimes people will talk about everything around the whole issue, the whole racial thing and stuff, and not really pinpoint or talk about what the issue really is. And it is sometimes does come down to race, and most of the time when it comes to us, of color, it has something to do with our race, but nobody really wants to have a real conversation about that. And it's okay. Having conversations about it is really good. It's healthy. We should be having more of these, but we shouldn't have them to the fact that, it gets the way it gets. And now, stuff's getting canceled and things like that, because, I look at it also too, I'm not talking about Sharon, I'm talking about really my Cheryl, my girl, my sorority sister, my friend, all stuff, that's her bread and butter. That's her job. And, so now, people, when you start affecting people's work, I say time out, King's X, it's a whole different playing field now. I don't want to do anything to affect, my friends' livelihood, their money and stuff. So, hopefully they'll get to the bottom of it and the show will come back, and stuff. But, Sharon got to do some soul searching herself. She got to deal with that, in her own terms and stuff. And everybody says, well, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Well, you think you're not like that, people, but sometimes you guys are like that.
Issue.
Yeah, and stuff. So yeah.
So did you know about the 211 number? I'm not even sure if you knew about it, but did you know that there was an anti-hate number in LA County?
Well, I knew it was a 211 number, but I didn't know it was specifically just for anti-hate. But I'm glad that you put that out there. So now I know, and I can refer some people to it if they, if I come in contact with people and they say they've been a victim, I'm going to tell them to call 911. I'm going to learn a lot now that you're the commissioner and everything. I'm going to have the inside stuff, So yeah.
Especially since you're trying to retire and whatnot, but I digress.
Well, hey, it's time for me to retire now that you're a commissioner. It's time for me to retire because I know you and you a commissioner. So I don't want to have to be on the end of a call from a commissioner, McKenzie, asking me about my job and what my viewer is doing and not doing. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I think it's a sign that I should be retiring and everything, stuff. So
yeah, Ms. Nicole, let me ask you a question really quick. Is racism considered a public health issue?
Absolutely. So without going into
before you answer that, also people are now trying to use racism as a mental health issue to get clemency for the bad mess that they do. So talk to me about racism being a public health issue and the tomfoolery in trying to use it to get out of responsibility for bad behavior.
Okay. So first and foremost, there are more than one type of racism. Okay. So the racism that most of us are used to hearing about or understand as racism is, I don't like you because you are Black, Latino, whatever, right? Racism, but there's another type of racism that is actually much more damaging. I'm not going to trivialize that racism, but all of it's bad. But let me get to what I'm trying to say, because I'm talking in circles. Structural and institutional racism are much more damaging in societies. Think about it this way. There was a point in time in this country's history where people of color, specifically Black people, could not buy homes in certain areas. It was written in the deeds of the properties. Don't sell this house to a Black person. Don't sell it to a Mexican. You can. I went to the museum and saw the copies of the deeds. So racism is saying we are going to prohibit you from accessing all the resources in society solely based on your race. I'm not going to let you go to a school that's quality. I'm going to make you go to the school over here. We're going to underfund your schools. I'm going to limit access to healthcare. We're going to keep you from getting a mortgage at a good rate. I'm going to keep you from buying a house in a neighborhood that you want to. Those types of things are racist. And are built into the structures of American society and have prohibited people of color, specifically Black people, from enjoying all these wonderful resources in society. What does home ownership mean to a person? If you own your home, you can refinance that home. You can take the equity out of that home. You can own a business. You can send your kids to college. But what happens when you try to get a mortgage and because you're Black, you can't get the mortgage, or you get a subprime mortgage, or you get a mortgage with a high interest rate. You end up losing your home and losing that structural or generational wealth that has benefited families for generations. They fine, they doing well. We over here struggling. And so that's how racism plays out, and why racism is a public health issue. Even with COVID, with the pandemic, access to healthcare issues have come up, access to vaccination. A lot of that stuff doesn't seem like it would be racist on its surface, but when you start to dig deeper, yes, we see that there are differences in resources, differences in opportunity, and it is often by racial lines. So yes, racism is a public health issue. As far as racism being a mental health thing, I'm not a mental health professional. I would say it is not the same thing as having anxiety or having schizophrenia or having bipolar. Not at all. Racism is taught. It was something that we're taught as we grow in society. We see it everywhere. We see it on TV. We see it all over the place. So I would be interested to see how that plays out, but I wouldn't go there. I did hear about that guy that said the reason why he said something racist over the microphone was because he had type 1 diabetes and his blood sugar was spiking. I heard that and I was like, man, don't do that. Because there's Black people with type 1 diabetes and they don't say stuff like that. So
exactly. You know what? I tell you, you know what? People, they crazy. He said because he got type 1 diabetes, he need to cut that out.
I do want to go ahead and plug the Renegades. So if any of you guys are interested in listening to a conversation that delves deep into racism and culture in our country, right now, Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen are doing a series called The Renegades, and it's on Spotify. So I listened to it. Wow. There's probably 4 out right now. But there are moments where they talk about, I didn't even know that there were riots in New Jersey, racial riots in New Jersey, in this little small town that had 10,000 people. So it went down, right? So I'm learning about places there have been other cultural clashes. But he got pretty emotional when he started talking about the town that he came from, and then how, music and rock and roll was greatly affected by the African-American community, and how all some of his favorite people and entertainers and musicians were African-American, but you would hear them being degraded and you wouldn't want them to live next door to you. So they can be your best, your favorite, this, that, and the other, but you definitely didn't want them living next door to you. So back to what you were talking about in regards to the mortgage or being able to move into a neighborhood that you wanted to, you were not seen as a value, you were seen as an issue. So it's interesting. I recommend anybody that just wants to hear perspective. And I loved how Barack Obama had talked about, a lot of the stuff that many of us from bigger cities experienced growing up in regards to race. Like, me in the Bay Area, you guys in Los Angeles. He was like, ain't no riots in Hawaii. So of course, when he came over here, it was like culture shock. And you would wonder how someone Black could experience culture shock dealing with racism. So it's
Right.
interesting just to hear how perspective shapes who you are. And I just would encourage people to continue to have these difficult conversations, dig into some of these things that even cause you triggers. There are things that cause Black people triggers. We need to deal with that also, and how we move forward with that. So all that being said, I want to thank you, Ms. Nicole, for being here. So let's go over really quick before we get out of here, what you have coming up and how people can keep in touch with you.
So the best place is my website, www.nicoledvick.com. I am very heavily and frequently on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Nicole D. Vick. I'm there. And I also have a business page on Facebook, Nicole D. Vick Author. So I made everything. The brand is the name. I'm the brand. So everything is under my name. I'm on LinkedIn. And as far as what's next, of course, as Gia was saying, we're going to be at the Nothing But Black Market coming up on the 27th. I'll be there with my book. I can sign copies if you're interested. Mother's Day is coming up. All kinds of wonderful holidays for women. This is still Women's History Month. And what better way to support a woman than to buy a Black woman's book? Yay! That's why it's yellow. I bought it bright. You won't miss it. And I think that's about it.
I love it. And thank you, Miss Deborah Lynn, for always supporting us. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we hope that you continue to share and join in. Miss Gia, what's going on with you? Where can we find you? And make sure you post it on our pages when you're done. Go ahead.
All right. You guys can always find me on Instagram, The Mahogany Box, and on Facebook, The Mahogany Box, and my personal page, Gia Neal. I'm there in a few different ways. Next Saturday, I will be participating in a March Madness pop-up in Montclair. So if I got any viewers out in that area, the San Gabriel Valley area, come on out to Montclair. And I'm going to be doing a pop-up with sponsored by, it's being put on by an entrepreneur. She has a hair salon by the name of Hair Fam. A girlfriend of mine had been wanting me to do this for a while. She always would inbox me about it. So this year I was able to do it. The weekend I was free, so I decided to do it. So I'm going to be out in San Gabriel Valley with some other entrepreneurs of all kinds. So you guys come on out. From the time is going to be 12 to 5 p.m. The address is 5466 Merino Street, Montclair. 5466 Merino Street, Montclair. MapQuest it and everything. I hope to see you guys there. I'll have some new product there. So come on out. I'll be there on Saturday. And then the following Saturday, the 27th, I'll be at the Nothing But Black Flea Market again with Nicole, and some other great vendors will also be there. Entrepreneurs will be there. You can always find me there. Check us out on Instagram. Go follow me if you're not. Follow me. Follow Nicole on Instagram. Nicole and her daughter, they do this this thing on Instagram. I love it. I pop in every now and then and see them. So y'all follow Nicole, follow Tonya, follow all of us. We just three sisters trying to do our thing. So share us with your friends and family. Grow us, help grow our business, because what it's about. This is Women's History Month. So let's put these three women on the map. Again, The Mahogany Box, Nicole Vick, Tonya McKenzie PR on Instagram. Follow us.
Gia is she's getting out of her introvert mode here, I see.
Awesome.
So I guess if Miss Gia can do it, y'all can do it too. So that brings me to what I really want from y'all. Okay. People say, well, what do you want, Tonya? Listen, I want my legacy to be women supporting women. That's really it. I talked about this in Lady Boss last week, but it's important for me to acknowledge that much of my success has been because of other women. And they're not all Black women. It's just all women, right? Other women that have supported me, other women that have given me great advice. I am a mother without a mother, so I've had to go to other women for advice and support in raising my children. And I happen to like them, so I guess I got some good advice, right? All that stuff. But I want you to, if you are in business, doing business, work for a business, join us in Lady Boss, because I want us to be very giving in regards to resource and support. It's not really a hard thing to ask. And I'll take the time to help teach you how to be better support to your sisterhood. Many times I've recognized women don't always know how to support other women, right? I'm going to be a lot more clear these days about what you can do, even if you're not monetarily supporting, how we can be of support to each other. It is important, it is integral, and it is something that we need to master, because if I can elevate my career, my spirit, my health based on help from other women, so can you. And if you're in a place, in a room, in a space where other women are doing that freely, it helps you to become more accepting, because we have a hard time accepting help, right? It's hard for us to be like, hey, can you help me? But it shouldn't even be like that. If there's something you have that I need, I shouldn't feel reluctant to ask. And that is a problem. So we're going to work on alleviating that, becoming more supportive and more giving. So women, Lady Boss, it's on Facebook and it's on LinkedIn. And I want to make sure that you know we're open. We just want to help each other do better and elevate. All right. So then Tonya McKenzie PR, like Gia said, just like you spell it, Tonya McKenzie PR on all social medias, Sand and Shores on all social medias. You can find me, Slight Flex. You can Google me. I'm there. And if you need something, let us know. So with that being said, we'll be back next week. Oh, let me tell you, next week is Women in Sports. So I got a great surprise for you. I'm just so giddy about it. Gia doesn't even know. So be back us next week, okay? It's going to be amazing. Miss Nicole, thank you. We love you. This is your second time. I'm sure there'll be a third and fourth, and we would just want to make sure that we keep in touch. So you guys have a good one, and we will see you next Monday, yeah?
Bye.